Hello and welcome. So today we're going to talk a little bit about course proposals here at the high school. So with this new process that we now have for submitting course proposals, along with that comes a whole new form as well as a whole new process. So I'm going to kind of take you through that process from beginning to end. I'm going to give you a lot of tips and pointers so that your courses have less of a chance of being denied, and kind of show you what is being expected at all levels of the administration before this can actually get submitted to the school board. I'm also going to show you basically how to correct and resubmit your proposal should it get kicked back asking for changes to be made or corrections. So when you first come in, basically this is the spreadsheet as you are going to see it. We are going to first click on the date. We've got a nice little drop down menu for you. You just simply select the date. The new course title needs to be something original, something that that you'll be happy with, students will be happy with, administration will be happy with. So I'm going to go with something nice and simple for this demonstration and just put computer networking. For the Skyward Course Master Code, if I understand this correctly, you need to get this from either the principal or from the guidance secretary, okay? We do need to have this number here in order to move forward. So I'm going to put in 123 ABC, only because this is a demonstration and you should be getting this from either the principal or the guidance secretary, as I said. The course code here, this comes from the director of instruction, so you'll have to actually contact the director of instruction to get this code before it can actually get pushed forward through the process. So for now I'll go 321 CBA. We're going to have to put in any prerequisite courses. I'll put in IT Essentials. I'm going to select my grade levels. I'll go 11 and 12. I'll pick, we got to choose our length. I'll say 2 trimesters, adoption year. Say we're going to do this in 2018. We already have a schedule for 2017, so I need to wait a year. Laude points, we'll go ahead and go with 1 here. On the next page, we are going to identify a career cluster. So for mine, it's going to be information technology. When I identify any certifications, so for this will be A+ and CCNA. This course will address which state and national standards. You need to actually put a substantial answer here. It can't be something, short that doesn't actually explain whether or not you're going to address any standards, so on and so forth. And it doesn't matter how long it is. It's a limited space, so make sure to write something out that the school board wants to see, that's going to address their concerns. So I'll just put in there, this will address no standards as it is a demo. Okay, so I'm going to put that in there just because I have to have this little red star means I have to have something in there to go on, but you should probably write a couple of sentences here actually addressing which standards are going to be addressed by your course. So we're going to give a description of the course. Again, this is going to be something that you want seen in the registration and handbook. Please make sure that you look over the spelling, grammar, things like that. You don't want it kicked back and have to make those changes later and slow down the process of it. So be careful with that, okay? So for this I'll put students will learn the basics of networking, hardware and software, as well as the various topologies and troubleshooting. So this is probably a little bit too short here. Maybe we want something a little bit more. I'm not sure. I've never actually written one of these before. But use your best judgments. You want this to be exactly what's going to be cut and pasted and put into the handbook. So it's kind of representing you in a way. with the syllabus, this needs to be copied and pasted and put into here. Again, this one also needs to be checked for spelling errors and grammar and all that kind of stuff. My recommendation would be to use a Google Doc, write up your syllabus, and then just copy and paste it straight into this box. I'm just going to write in syllabus here so we can go on. In the next one, we're going to do cost factors. So first we're going to put in any textbooks or manuals that are required. So maybe I want to require the CCNA handbook for technology equipment. Maybe I want to put one desktop computer per student. I'm going to need a computer of some kind for each student, otherwise they can't take the class. This basically tells, is going to tell the school board here that whether or not we have this equipment or don't, this is what's going to be required for the student to take this course. In this case, we're probably going to be giving them a desktop computer to use, but we don't want to end up in a classroom that has, that's not a lab, that doesn't have any computers, so on and so forth. The funding source, where is the funding going to come from? Does it need to come from the district office? Does it need to come from the high school? Is there a grant? I don't know a whole lot about funding sources, but in here we would put who's going to be funding it. So I'm going to put the district office. So we'll move on to the next one. Is there going to be any other costs such as licenses, training? This could be one of the biggest ones I think we'll see here is software. If you need a specific software that may require purchase and licensing, we could put something like that in there. So maybe Adobe CS6 Suite. You won't need that for networking, but it's a good example. Then we're going to get into the actual costs. So in this first one, we're going to want startup costs. How much is it going to cost to start up this program? So maybe we say it's going to cost $10,000 to start up this course, and then maybe annually it's only going to cost us maybe $2,000 to replace some books yearly. Something like that. We put that in there. We're going to continue. Then it's going to give us the second portion of that pathways. So it's going to give us a more specific breakdown here. It's networking, so I'll go with network systems, and I'm going to submit. As soon as you submit this is automatically going to send an email back to Brenda, and she's going to get an email to go ahead and get this prepared for the principal. So as that happens, we're also waiting for a copy to be made. I'll bring one up that I made earlier as a test. So what the principal is going to get is he's going to get a document that looks like this now. Alright, so it's going to actually have the course title right up in here. It's going to have the date, the course title, who submitted it, and then it's going to come down and it's going to put all of this information in here like this. Okay, this is a document that's already ready now for the school board should it get approved. Now here's going to be the important part. Alright, so as the principal or director of technology, business manager, or the director of instruction kick this back or approve it, if ever it gets kicked back with a message saying that it needs correction, an email is going to come to you and it's going to automatically tell you that it needs correction, and it's going to give you a link to this document right here. Okay, once you're done making those corrections, there's a resubmit button right up here for you, and you just have to resubmit it to whomever was the last one that basically sent you the message stating that it needed to be corrected. In a perfect world, if there are no spelling errors, there are no issues with it whatsoever, maybe you'll never see this document actually come back to you. You will get an email as each one of the or each one of the administrators either denies, approves, or requires correction. You're going to get an email telling you exactly where it is in the process at all times. You'll be able to go and talk to one of the secretaries over at the district office. At this time that'd be Brenda Harris, who will be able to tell you at all points in time where this document is at, who's approved it, who's requested correction, so on and so forth. Alright, this is also protected, so if you accidentally click on the wrong one, don't worry about it. It'll just give you a nice little "you're not authorized" button just in case. When you do go to resubmit this, it is going to give you this right here. Okay, you need to know that if you ever resubmit it, this is just asking you to give the script permission to run. So hit the allow button, you should be good to go, and then it will resubmit it, and it'll continue to go through the process from there. Again, I can't stress enough, make sure your spelling errors and everything else are corrected. That seems to be the biggest issue. So have fun, good luck, and let's help our students learn.
Awesome.